Hey, how are you doing? Thursday afternoon. What is it? 2:30. And I just thought I would do kind of a late midweek psychic little, mini pop in and see how we're all doing. So it's really interesting because just before I started this, I heard this shields up. It's like, okay, I felt like I was on the deck of Star Trek or something, and so it's like this idea that we're all kind of walking around in a little bit of our own bubble, and it's that sense of that sort of spidey sense that you just need a little extra layer of like a nice big blanket around you. And whether that feels like protection or it feels just being wrapped up and swaddled just a little. So just inviting you just to sort of be aware of that in your own self connection right now. So the that sense, there's this sense of being just, I don't know, like last night I was thinking, is it only Wednesday night? It felt like it should be Friday night. And so there's this weariness in the air. And, I put up a message in the Greatness Tribe yesterday, the Wednesday Hump Day Challenge. And what I was feeling then was that we're all just a little bit psychically overstimulated right now. And we're not kind of managing it so well. And, maybe it has to do with the end of the summer and the beginning of, kids going back to school, that autumn, fall. I mean, yesterday I drove to Coburg and some of the trees are turning colors already. And everything just feels like it's getting away with, getting ahead of us a bit too much. So I don't know about you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback, but I just have this desperate feeling for the simple, this sort of direct, uncluttered mind space, and at the same time, that's really productive. So if you're feeling challenged in that way, it's not you're not alone. It's not your fault. You're just uh, you know immersed in this current psychic um, overstimulation that is being felt by everyone, but more evidently by those of us that are more sensitive to our environment and to our own energy in that environment. So, and that's a big one for me. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is this idea of the temptation that rises up when we are, you know, trying to get something from A to B or something brand new that's just coming into form. And we all have this sort of temptation to want to, can we not push it along a little bit? This came up in a session earlier today, and it's interesting that it's come back up again. And the metaphor that I used was, imagine looking at a plant and seeing that there's along the stalk, you can see a little bud to a brand new leaf that's going to kind of begin to slowly emerge and unfold from that space. And that sense of, wanting to kind of nudge it along and coax it to hurry up. And we know that's not the wise thing to do. We know that if we mess with nature, we know that if we impatiently give too much water or too much sun, or we try to pry it loose and help it to kind of unpack itself and grow, that we're going to damage it, and it's going to turn brown and it's going to die, and we'll never get to see that leaf, that new leaf, this idea of turning a leaf. And so whatever it is that you personally or professionally have going on, just be mindful of how we need to let nature take its course and to not get in there and want to decorate and edit and push things along. Um, so, and where that comes from is a preconceived, um, predetermined idea in our mind space of how things should unfold, or what the end should look like, or even what the journey should look like. And so when we have this sort of predetermination going on, we actually put up blinders and we don't get to see other potentials being presented because we've got these blinders on, so we can't see any new information, connections, events, gifts popping in our peripheral vision because we're blocking it off, our peripheral perception. So we want to keep that wide open by relaxing, um, doing a little bit less, saying no a little bit more often, just for this little phase that we're in as we come to the end of this week, and just commit to doing one less thing. It's Thursday, it's the end of Thursday, it feels like Friday. Friday will be here soon enough, and just wanting to kind of take that weekend and just do a little bit less, so that our investment in that predetermined outcome kind of settles down a bit, right? And so that we don't snuff out any surprise outcomes or gifts that are trying to work their way through into our peripheral vision, energy awareness that is in the periphery. Do you understand what I mean by that? Sort of events that suddenly start to get activated or unfold. And if you're blocked and you're tunnel visioned, you're not even going to see that. You're just going to miss it altogether. We've all had that experience where something happened to someone that you're close to, and you're like, how did I not know? Well, because you were like this, right? And we all get that way. That's, part of, and so I'm feeling that we're trying to do this. We're trying to be productive, and we're kind of using more energy by trying too hard, by pushing the envelope too hard. It's like that phrase, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, not 1,000 steps in one step. Okay, so that desire is great, and we want it to last over the length of the journey. And so we need to allow things to form, to slowly bud, and to slowly start to grow until they take more form, and then they take more form, and then they are fully formed, and then they still need to go through this unwinding process. And so it's energy. It's all energy, and energy is moving, right? When it has the right information, and it has the right, desire and emotion with it, it is this moving process, and it's dynamic. So let's see. Yeah, that was about it. I was just looking at my notes to see what else I wanted to share. I think that's it. Just a little quickie, just to kind of nudge us along. And I hope you all had a beautiful sleep. If where you were, you had rain. I had rain and frogs and crickets all night long. I don't know if you can hear crickets. I still have crickets. And I don't know, we really needed this rain, and it feels like we needed it here as well. We needed that cleansing rain. So it's all beautiful. So, uh, plan for yourself a nice, relaxing weekend. And I'll see if I can pop back in here for Monday for next week's forecast. Take care. Bye.